A key development in U.S. digital asset policy is unfolding as Senator Cynthia Lummis warns that the country risks falling behind in the global crypto race if the Clarity Act fails to pass. The bill is designed to clarify the regulatory framework for digital assets, addressing years of uncertainty that have hampered innovation and investment in the U.S. market. Lummis argues that without clear rules, American companies will struggle to compete with foreign markets where regulatory environments are more defined and investor-friendly. The Clarity Act proposes a division of oversight between the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, with most widely traded tokens classified as digital commodities and placed under the CFTC's jurisdiction. This shift aims to reduce the current regulatory ambiguity that has left many crypto businesses in legal limbo. The SEC would continue to oversee tokens that function more like traditional investment contracts or securities, ensuring a more structured and predictable regulatory approach. This distinction is crucial because it provides a clearer legal boundary for companies and investors, reducing the risk of enforcement actions that have been a common criticism of the SEC's current approach. The bill's passage is not just a matter of regulatory clarity, but also a strategic decision about the U.S. role in the future of finance. Lummis emphasizes that the U.S. must act swiftly to maintain its leadership in digital innovation or risk ceding influence to other nations shaping the rules of. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. This emerging financial system. The Clarity Act has already passed in the Senate, but its stalled progress in the House raises concerns about the pace of legislative action. Delays could allow other countries to establish regulatory frameworks that influence the global market, potentially sidelining the U.S. in the next phase of financial technology. The stakes are high for both industry participants and policymakers. A lack of regulatory clarity has already driven some companies to seek more favorable jurisdictions abroad, and further delays could accelerate this trend. At the same time, a well-crafted regulatory framework could attract investment, foster innovation, and position the U.S. as a global leader in digital assets. The Clarity Act represents a pivotal moment in the evolution of crypto regulation. In the U.S., if passed, it could establish a stable and predictable environment for crypto businesses, investors, and regulators. If not, the U.S. risks losing its competitive edge in a market that is growing rapidly and increasingly global in scope. The next signal to watch is whether the Clarity Act will finally move forward in the House and what the final version of the bill will include. Industry participants and legal experts will be closely monitoring any amendments or delays, as these could determine the future of crypto regulation in the U.S. and its impact on the global market. The mechanism of the bill is designed to address the long-standing question of who should regulate crypto assets, whether the SEC, the CFTC, or both. By classifying most tokens as digital commodities, the Clarity Act aims to streamline oversight and reduce the overlapping and sometimes conflicting regulations that have made compliance difficult for businesses. This could help prevent the kind of regulatory overreach that has been a point of contention in the industry. At the same time, the bill ensures that tokens that resemble traditional investment contracts or securities remain under the SEC's jurisdiction, preserving the agency's role in protecting investors and maintaining market integrity. The distinction between digital commodities and securities is a key part of the bill's design, and it reflects an effort to balance regulatory clarity with investor protection. The broader implications of the Clarity Act go beyond just regulation. Lummis has framed, most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The bill as a decision about whether the U.S. will lead in the new financial system or remain on the sidelines. With countries like the European Union and China moving quickly to establish their own regulatory frameworks, the U.S. cannot afford to lag behind. The global competition in digital assets is intensifying, and the U.S. needs a clear and forward-looking approach to remain competitive. The next signal to watch is whether the Clarity Act will finally move forward in the House and what the final version of the bill will include. Industry participants and legal experts will be closely monitoring any amendments or delays, as these could determine the future of crypto regulation in the U.S. and its impact on the global market.